Hello everyone. So as promised, I am back to check in on Melania and see where she is. You guys are wondering where she is, how I'll add in who's around her, and then we'll see like who shows up, and of course we want to see how her relationship with Trump is. I may use the Lennies too, but I'm going to start with the tarot. So, Melania, what's going on? And this is, what day is it? Tuesday, June 3rd. Right there. The forces in motion in her life is she's going very quickly to get away from the darkness and the negativity and the addiction and the disgusting, apathetic, cruel, materialistic. Well, she's materialistic too, but she's moving quickly to get away from Trump. So interesting. Okay, so rather than, I'm not going to do like morning, evening, I'm just going to fill up the space here. And so, we'll wind up with 12 cards to give us the answer, see what's going on. Okay, so with the Temperance card, man, all these majors. Okay, with Temperance, she's trying to get herself balanced. She's working on bringing in new life. She's working on creating the life she wants to live. She's focusing. Now, I didn't allow for reversals. I just left them all upright so that you can, tune into the cards better. And I'm using my deck without the astro glyphs on it so that it's maybe less distracting. Because, we're dealing with a relationship here. So anyway, I feel like she's going towards what brings more life into her, where she's feeling like she has more life and there's more purpose and meaning coming into her life. So that's it. And I think she's patiently holding out for, who knows what would be left when who is gone. Now, because this card with the devil here, because it did come through in the challenge position, I would read it as reverse. Now, if we're doing that, then this is a person who is trapped in a downward spiral of their own poor choices, and someone whose negative health is affecting their public persona. That's Trump. So she's running to get away from Trump as fast as she can. And sometimes I think she may be headlong, like charging in, like, you don't get to say that to me. You don't get. Remember that time when she gave him what for coming out of it was right after her mom had died, and she told him off outside of the court building, and she got out of I can't remember if she was getting out of the car, or no, she told him, I remember now, he was trying to go with her, and she's, no, you're not having that, and she got inside the car. Who knows what she said to him, but I think she really gave it to him. So, yeah. So she's moving fast. This is also our card for, air travel, like arrivals and departures. So this is her sometimes going in to do whatever she needs to do in order to get, her big payouts, because I'm sure he pays her quite a hefty sum. And then she departs. Okay? And then she's building her own life. Now, with the High Priestess, she keeps quiet after and during all of these encounters, and it does the obligatory kiss on the cheek, whatever she's supposed to do, because it's all about the money, right? to keep going further, she's very disappointed, and she may still be grieving the loss of her mother. That's very possible. But she's disappointed in her poor choices. You know, the High Priestess here is our higher self card, and she obviously didn't have that deep connection to her higher self when she hooked up with Trump. And, you know, her life could have been completely different. She was a model. Her life could have been completely different. But no, because of where she, you know, coming from Slovenia, possibly, I don't know, I don't want to misalign anybody or malign anybody in those countries, because that's just, let's just say the life path she chose, I'm sure she's regretting. That's what I'm getting there. The Seven of Swords, again, she goes in and out. She just, you know, goes in to get her money. She sneaks around. He doesn't know. He doesn't really know. Maybe he knows. She knows about all of his sneakiness. She could hold a lot of things over him, but she's also a grifter. She's also very cunning. She has a very savvy, you know, way about doing this. She's a stealthy deceiver. And she's getting away with it. Also, boy, do we have a lot of majors here. Also, she's had it. You know, she's about blown her top many times. She's had it. And she knows that his downfall is coming. With the Tower card, there's going to be something that just rocks her world and changes her belief system. There's going to be shocks, you know, the breakdown and disaster of a life that's not so, hasn't been so well lived. And I'm sure that by now, I mean, she's only 55. She hasn't had her second Saturn return yet. So who knows if maybe this will lead to the breakthrough of, you know, breakdown of the false self so that the real self can come through. There's that possibility. I always hold out for the best, hope for the best, and try to give people the benefit of the doubt, unless they're a malignant, narcissistic, racist, disgusting person like the guy she married. Then I don't give that guy any slack. Because I know that malignant narcissists, that they don't get help. They don't do therapy. Or if they do it because they have to, because maybe it's court ordered, you know. But no, not him, because he managed to get himself into the position that he's in. Okay. After a breakdown, she's headed for a new life. Now, Baron, of course, would be our Knight of Cups. Maybe even the Page of Cups, because he's a Pisces. I don't know who this is, so I'm just feeling like it's going to be a new focus in making money in a different way. She's already done that. She already has her own meme coins or NFT. She has her, I think, perfume and makeup and whatever. She knows how to make money, and she's used the the Trump name, which she could have done on, you know, all of this could have been done on her own, but those bad choices back in the past, I think she's gonna be regretting them and then trying to move on in a new way, and maybe go towards something much more healthy. Yeah. Okay. And I can't really, actually, here, let's do this. If I can, let's see, is it this way? Yeah, here we go. Because that one card right there was supposed to be right here, I can tell. Okay, so what we're dealing with the Chariot is her moving forward in a whole new life, doing whatever she needs to do. It's like, you know, putting your will, exercising your free will. And it's a moon in Cancer, so it's about being centered in yourself. It's about being in control, using your willpower. It's a card of victory, but it's damn well like a whole lot of positive aggression, self-assertion, hopefully. So there's that. Okay. And then if I keep going here, what I'm going to do, let's see. Let's do it this way. I'll do 3 more cards over here because this is like the future. I don't see Trump anywhere around. His card hasn't come through. What I do see with the 3 of Wands is her looking forward, expanding, and this is where she is and what she's been doing. She's been already going through the breakdown and moving into a new life, but being very sneaky because she knows what she's up against. And she's already been traveling to get away from him. Remember, this card right here, right in the center, is the forces in motion. So that back and forth airline departures and arrivals to be with the creep, and then get maybe gives her $250,000. I don't know why that figure has always been in my head for each appearance. And he probably gets her for the whole day, and then she leaves, and then she focuses on her new life and anything to get away from that disgusting, And notice I don't have like the 2 of Cups and his card. Like his card would have been the Emperor, because he has a life path 4, and even though his son is Gemini, he ain't no friggin' King of Swords. There's no way. There's no way. So anyway, I'm going to go with the fire. His whole chart is pretty much hot air. And so I go with the fire for him. But okay, so, and he's also been, like the abusive. We know he's an abuser. So for me, I didn't allow for reversals, but if the Emperor comes through, I'm going to read it as reverse because that's him. He's no healthy dad, that's for damn sure. So anyway, back to Mel. Looking to make progress in her life, looking to get away from him, travel. That's just continuing on there, moving, right? And this is a card of going into like foreign areas too. Now with the 2 of Swords, this is being at a crossroads and needing to make decisions, but trying to make them from a place where you're not really connected to your feelings. Well, that's not going to work out well for her, because where this is all leading is the end. You're just done, just totally done. Nail in the coffin, betrayal, stabbed in the back, endings, loss, right? So yeah. And this is our Moon in Libra card too. So, getting away from like the drug addict and, yeah. Okay, so let's see what was on the bottom. Yeah, 9 of Cups, going for what she wants and feeling satisfied and having a whole new life, a healthier life away from him. And, I can only hope that maybe she has therapy, maybe she's whatever, doing some good stuff for herself to heal, but she's got some really bad karma too. So I will use the Lennies. This one is, hold on, this deck here. The Gilded Reverie. So I'll just do 15 cards and check into her and Trump. So if the man comes through, it's him. Woman is her. See what's going on there. Or actually, maybe if I could move this crystal up, maybe I can fit. I might be able to fit 3. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, excuse me. I have to remember I have this microphone on now. All right, how's their relationship going? I need the fan on. There we go. starts out so cold in the mornings. I have like 40-degree mornings, and then 80, 90. It's getting hot. Oh, anyway. Okay. The disgusting Trump. Whom I'm sure she has no respect for by this point. Just think of all the things she's been through with him. Stormy Daniels, COVID. She stayed in her own like East Wing that whole time. Away from him. Wouldn't let him visit or anything. So, okay. But how currently, as of June 3rd, 2025, how are her and Trump doing? Right there. Yeah. It ain't happening. There's some cutoff split. Oh my goodness. With the, oh boy, here, let me just get the cards laid out because they do work off of each other. Yep. Of course. There we go. Yeah, disgusting. Okay, so what I'm getting here is there are sharp decisions that are, so she has intentions to clear herself out of this abusive relationship where he's guilty and she's guilty. You know, she's guilty of going into that, remember that very first migrant camp with her green jacket that said, "I don't really care, do you?" And she was told by her press, whatever secretary and her that person, her friend, "You don't really want to wear that, do you? I mean, that's not the best thing to wear." And she refused to listen to anyone. I'll bring this down a little. There, okay. So you can see clearly right here that she's cutting herself off. Her intention in the future is to cut herself off from his abuse. And over time, she feels she's going to be strong and more, maybe she's going to be thinking and planning for better health and thinking about Barron, her son, of course, because he would be involved in her, you know, this is like her family tree and her lineage. Yeah. Boy, look at that. Okay, also, just reading this 9 box from the center out here, she's trying to extricate herself and clear herself out from betrayals and complications of the past, especially financially. She's tired of always, you know, being in that with him, and she's, I think eventually over time she's going to be thinking about her karma and you know what she's done, how she's given herself away to this abuser, and yes, but the way it is with them in their relationship is she's sharp with her words, and she understands her power in the relationship, and she's working to come into her own authority with the Tower card. The Tower card is completely different in the tarot from the tarot. With this deck, it's with the Lennies, it's about a person's inner authority. It's about their boundaries. She's making clear-cut choices to have a really strong boundary with him, and planning out into the future. You know, the direction she's going is gone. It's to be. I think it's to minimize any contact with him, And yeah, she's looking to, well, she's looking for new opportunities here. And she's looking for success, but she's trying to cut herself off and away from the malignant narcissist who's very, very guilty and extremely, knighting these cards together to the sun. Extremely, like she's experienced betrayal. She's tired of the bites, the cheating, the awful experience with him, and she's looking to be successful herself financially with the bear. Now the bear is also like mama bear and protective, so that has to do with the different direction she's taking to take care of Baron. So, but over time. She's mapping out a new life away from abuse is what I'm getting here, just simply put. Tonight, these cards together down to because these two cards are pretty negative. This is like repetitive, so the whip just is repetitive. It can also be work, but I'm getting it's repetitive toxicity that she receives when she's around him. And she's tired of having to clear that out to feel healthy. So what I'm getting here overall, I'll just end with this, is that she's, between the tarot and this, I can see that she meets up with him. She's got a clear-cut goal. It's to get the money right here, and then get the hell away from him and go clear out and try to become healthier, to clear his energy off of her. Because you have to remember, like, she's got a mask she's wearing, and I'm surprised that card didn't come through. There's a mask card in this deck. Yeah, see, there's that obstacle to that bridge to him, to the old geezer, but she takes the risk. Yeah, she keeps choosing. But what I was thinking was this other masky card. I'm surprised it didn't come through, because that's what she does, is she puts, oh, here she is. Okay, let's just read that. Okay. So her heart is elsewhere. Here she is. She's very cunning. This is exactly that Seven of Swords that we had. She's cunning, and then she wears that mask. And she has to go into like the fun house of mirrors with this idiot. And then here she has her written agreement for the money. So, okay, well, I'm done. Take good care. Be back later. Bye.